Hi, everybody. It's Marcella Nordbeck-Richardson. I am the artist, living the artist way for 12 months. Here it is, Julia Cameron's magical book of creative unblocking. So it's November. So much I want to share with you, and then we'll get into the book. First, I want to give you a couple updates. Things are still progressing with Gallery 24/7. I mentioned last month I was going to start a monthly blogging post with them. That happened first week in November. It's called Honoring the Creative Call. I hope that you check it out. And I'd also mentioned that month of November, I was going to be the featured artist of the month. They have postponed launching that feature. That's going to be launched in December, but I will still be their debut featured artist of the month. In other exciting news, Gallery 24/7 is not the only gallery representing me these days. Just last week, I signed a 12-month contract with Sync Gallery in Denver. It's on Santa Fe between 9th and 10th Avenue, so it is right in the heart of the Santa Fe Art District. So starting in January of 2014, every first and third Friday, I will be showing new artwork. 11 months out of the year, I'll be in the back room rotating my art with all the other members, and from mid-February through early March, I'm going to be in a two-woman show in the front of the gallery, so I'm getting ready for that, in addition to the commission jobs I mentioned last month that I'm still working on. But this is a Living the Artist Way blog post, so we're here to talk about the Artist Way. And in chapter 11, because it's the 11th month, it's November. Chapter 11 is titled Recovering a Sense of Autonomy. And in it, Julia says, this week, but for me it's this month, we focus on our artistic autonomy. We examine the ongoing ways in which we must nurture and accept ourselves as artists. Once again, seems like my creative path is right in sync with what Julia is writing about, which is part of what is so magical about this book, that exactly what she said, nurturing and accepting ourselves as artists is really what the last 5 weeks since I left my day job has been about. One of my favorite parts of the chapter, she talks about our successes and how as artists we can tend to get known for doing certain things, having a certain period, and we can linger and want to hold on to that because it's proven to be successful in the past. But what can happen is that we can get stuck in a rut, and then we get stale, and then it's not successful anymore. And I can relate to that on so many levels, both with my art and even in my appearance, and I'll get to that in a moment. With my art, I started showing and selling my work about 5 years ago, and so in and around Denver and various online communities that I'm a part of, I've really gotten to be known as known for painting my spirals, which, as a lot of people know, are inspired by my experiences in meditation. And among certain artist circles, my nickname is actually Buddha Girl. And while I think there's a part of me that will always paint spirals or circles or spheres, I love the juxtaposition of the round shape within the square canvases that I like to paint on. I get bored sometimes and I need to stretch myself and step out of that. And earlier this summer, I started a new series called the Sidewalk Series. And in one of my earlier video posts, I actually held up one of them. And I shared that my husband did not like them. But what was fascinating, not last week is when I signed my contract with St. Gallery, but the week before when I was invited to come in for a face-to-face interview with a few of the board members and to bring in my work, I took an older piece, not a whole lot older, it's just from earlier this year, my larger paintings with lots of spirals, and I took a more recent piece where I'm branching out and it's actually not spirals, it's spheres, creating that circle in a different way. And then I took a couple of these minis that are the start of the Sidewalk series. And even though my husband really despises them, he doesn't understand them at all, he can't relate to them, they're pure abstracts and they don't really have a focal point. I'm so excited to say that Sync actually really loved them, and I think that it was, I'm sure a lot of things went into them considering representing me, but that they really liked them and they really understood when I shared with them how I think as artists we always need to be stretching ourselves, and not just as artists but as people. But I really more and more have really come to believe that as people we are all artists. We are all creating our lives with every thought, with every emotion, with every action. Anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent. The point is what I've been experiencing is so in sync with what Julia writes about in chapter 11, that even though we get known for doing something, we need to allow other things creatively to be birthed through us. And even if we don't understand why or we can't see their market value, we need to do it. And for me, it really paid off because it really helped me get this contract with St. Gallery. Another area of my life where kind of breaking out of a rut and a routine has been with my hair. As you can see, I'm blonde, which is new. I'm naturally brunette. In fact, my hair is naturally very dark. I was actually born with black hair, and then over the years, as the gray has started to come in, because I'm 40 something now, I've been coloring it, and we've been going with the dark chocolate brown, a little bit softer than black. But I don't work in an office anymore. I get to show up however I want to in the world, and I really needed a change. Everything about my life is totally different now. Everything. The biggest being that I'm fully self-employed and pursuing my creative endeavors full-time, full throttle. And in the first couple weeks after I left my day job, I'd be getting ready in the morning and I'd look in the mirror and my life is out picturing differently. I feel different on the inside. And I'd look in the mirror and I just saw this old, tired woman who had been working at the same place for nearly 5 years. And I'm not her anymore. And I feel like now in my life that I am truly stepping into shining my light like never before and doing things that I came here to do, to love, to express, and hopefully by living my life as an example of people who can overcome a lot and create an even better life for themselves. My outside appearance wasn't reflecting my inside appearance. But tying back into chapter 11 of The Artist Way and successes and what people get to know us for and how they get really attached to a way that we paint or a way that we look, it's been a very mixed reaction with my hair. Most people have really loved it and embraced it and, applauded me for doing something really drastic and different. And then I had somebody on Facebook who told me that they're actually afraid. They mentioned, I recently left my day job and now I've changed my hair and they're afraid of what I'm going to do next. And I found it just absolutely hysterical because I'm excited about this next chapter of my life. I am excited about the new opportunities that continue to present themselves. I mean, a month ago, I didn't even know I was on Sync's radar and they invited me to apply. And so I'm excited. I hope you like the hair, but if you don't, I don't care. And yes, if you're wondering, it's 2 different lengths. This side is short. This is my kind of tomboy side. This side is longer. I have more hair to play with, and it's my more feminine side. And so my hair is really representing the 2 different aspects of myself. Actually, I'm very multifaceted, and who knows? It could be totally different next month or next year. It probably won't be the same one way or the other. Anyways, that's all I have for this month. That's what's going on with my art. That's my feedback, sort of book report on chapter 11 from The Artist Way. And thank you to everybody who's been following for the last 11 months, and I hope that you'll tune in next month when I do my last report on chapter 12, and then that'll be my last video for a while. I am writing an e-course called Living Creatively, and there will be videos that are part of that, so then you can see the evolution of my hair as well as my art. So yeah, have a wonderful, grateful Thanksgiving, everybody. I love you, and keep creating.